My dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today I shall present a developmental session for you. The title of the session is My Country, My People. I have tried to present some basic information about our motherland and discussed certain significant issues from educational perspective. Let us begin with the first slide. This is a very old map showing relative locations of Afghanistan, West Pakistan, East Pakistan, India, Bhutan, Burma, etc. If we can recall that Robert Clive won the Battle of Polachi in 1757 and we got rid of British rule in 1947. So actually British ruled over Indo-Pak subcontinent for 190 years. So when they left Indo-Pak subcontinent, they divided the country into India and Pakistan. We can see then West Pakistan and East Pakistan. And during 1947 and 48, lots of movement of people from Pakistan to India or from India to Pakistan we saw, especially Muslims, they migrated from India to Pakistan, and Hindu and Sikh, they migrated from Pakistan to India. And we saw lots of communal fights and thousands of lives were lost. Later, by the grace of Almighty Allah and under the leadership of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, Bangladesh became independent in 1971 through 9-month-long liberation war. I'm sure you all know that the area of our country and total population of our country as well, which is 165.6 million people. Our current GDP is over $317 billion US dollars. GDP per capita is calculated as average income per person, annual income, so which is for Bangladeshi people is now almost 2068 US dollar. We have 8 divisions currently. Now I shall concentrate about our population and how we are doing education wise. On average, 80% of our population are very poor, 15% are poor and 5% are rich. If we consider different occupations, if we plot them in a pie chart, we see that agriculture relevant workers, they are the highest. Second position comes to daily laborers who don't own the land but they work as daily basis in different places. Small business entrepreneurs, they have the third position. The rest of the occupations or professions, like for example teachers, occupations like fishermen, carpenter, driver, mason, I'm sure you know that the bricklayers, then aquaculture where they are breeding the fish, etc. Those are important as well. If we consider the total land in Bangladesh, we see that above 60% has been used for agriculture purpose, but the trend is it is going down gradually. Why? Because lands are being used now for industry or other urbanization projects. If we look at the agricultural contribution in our country, we can see that these white places, they all produce almond rice. They are harvested from November to January throughout the whole country. The yellow color is for Aush rice, we can see different places. Its harvest time is from July to August. And Boro is the orange color. These are the main area for Boro rice, April to June, their harvest period. We can see that certain areas in Sylhet and Chittagong, tea is there, and jute by the diagonal lines, we can see that from Rangpur to different areas in Bangladesh through Mymensingh and other areas, jute is there. And our famous forest, the mangrove forest, is here. Patuakhali, Borishal, these districts, they cover, part of them covered by the mangrove forest, Sundarban, and there are forests in hill tract, Chittagong, part of Chittagong as well. Life is hard in Bangladesh. We saw previously that 80%, almost 80% of people, they are very poor. And if you consider, if you see, then life is hard for old and young, for all of them. We can see that even you don't have to look at the snap. If you, when you are visiting, you are going through road, if you look outside, you can see that women, even very young or very old women with children, they are working. Very old men, they are working as well. They are working, and often they work in a very harsh environment under the sun or rain. Bangladesh is one of the highest malnutrition rate in world, and we can see that 41% of children under the age of 5 suffer from moderate to severe malnutrition related complication like marasmus, kwashiorkor. 53,000 children die every year in Bangladesh due to complications related to malnutrition. So this is a very sad picture here. I would like to discuss here certain issues that we see that around 80% of people, they have financial problem, and obviously the children, they don't get enough food. Sometimes a slice of bread is a miracle for a hungry child. At the same time, you children who are listening to this speech, most of us, we are so lucky that we have the capacity to choose between different type of food, and we can enjoy our life. So we should always feel that we are lucky and we have responsibilities towards the children or population who don't have enough food. You see, not adequate food and no safe or clean place to live in. Whenever you look outside, you can see this kind of picture. So if I compare many slums, even near to our households in Dhaka city, we can see that these slums they don't have any running water, safe water, sanitary latrine, electricity, or hygiene and security condition is very poor. So in comparison to that, we are very much privileged. We sleep in comfort, whereas many people in Dhaka city or outside Dhaka city, they sleep with an empty belly and on hard surface, often on road. this small child is carrying a very heavy load. Can I do this? Could I do this? We need to think about it. Same age group of people in school, we are going to school and we are enjoying our life, but most of the children in our country, they don't have the comfort. We need to think, where am I? Where are we? We enjoy our life through so many fun, but other children, they have to carry heavy burden. Even then, sometimes we don't become happy and we complain. Happiness is relative. Look at the picture. These young children, maybe they got some bread or something to eat and they are playing and they are so happy, they are smiling. But these children, they don't look happy because maybe they wanted something and they didn't get it. If we look at the total net attendance rate in a school, we see, if we divide into rich and poor, we see that among the rich people in village or in urban areas, both boys and girls, they attend school almost at same level. But when we look at the poor population, financially challenged population, then we see both in rural and urban area, boys are dropping from school at more rate. So girls are attending a school in a better rate, I would say. Here, now I shall present picture of some schools and compare or discuss about ideal condition of school. This is not from Europe or America. This is a snap from a very good school in Bangladesh. If you count the student number in the classroom, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, around 15 to 16 or maximum 18. Actually, this is the standard student number per classroom, 18 to 20. But often we see that in many schools, because there are so many students and there is less number of classrooms, so most of the schools in one room, many students are there, sometimes 50, 60, 100 or over 100. This is not the ideal situation. Actually, students should sit keeping some space in between, so teacher can walk, and a teacher can only concentrate on, for example, 22 students. But if you even give 30 students in a classroom, it is very hard for a teacher to concentrate or connect to the students. So student number and seating arrangement in a classroom is an important factor. Here, I'll talk about necessity of play, necessity of game. We see a very big building here. It's a school, big school in Dhaka city, but they don't have any playground here. The building is very good. I'm sure the classrooms are quite nice, but they don't have any playground. Here, it's another school, big school with big building and large field. But the question is, you must have a playground and you must have availability of equipment and enough time in the routine so that the students can play. If you have a playground but you don't have equipment, or if you don't have play time in your routine, then it is meaningless. So every school should have playground and every school should have policy so that students can play regularly for their physical development. This is a nice picture of audiovisual classroom. These are modern time, and audiovisual classroom, I would say, compulsory for at least 1, 2, 3 rooms, audiovisual rooms in a school, it should be there. Another component is very much compulsory for any school is library. And not only that, if library is there but students are not allowed there, or they cannot take books, they cannot borrow books, or they don't have time to go to the library, then it is meaningless. So every school should have good library, and every school should have system so that a student can sit and read there and borrow book as well. Up to this, I have shown schools for privileged groups. But what about rural area or school for underprivileged children? We can see the very broken heart, and maybe inside some students are studying, and outside the heart, a teacher is trying to teach some students using a slate, small slate, showing something, teaching numbers. And this is a one big room containing, so far I can see 3 different classes, and rainwater is accumulating here. So this is not good condition. We don't want that. This is another scenario. The school area, school room has been submerged under flood water. So this is a school in Matlob in Chatpur. So the students and the teachers, they are sitting on a nearby high ground to continue the classes. We have rivers, many rivers in Bangladesh, and often the people there, they experience river erosion, and through river erosion, the households are lost, schools are lost as well. So in some areas, I would say few areas, some people have tried to use alternate idea. This is a boat school. So they have experienced that for a long time, for each year, the area is submerged. So they have arranged for boat school so the students can come and join the class. This is an urban mobile school presented by Akis Foundation School and College, where the school goes to the children in slum area. These are special schools. Now I'll talk about sanitation, toilet facilities in a school. If we look at the diagram, we can see that around 8,000 schools in Bangladesh, they do not have any kind of toilet. Number of functioning toilet in Bangladesh is over 30,000. And number of toilets where extensive repair is needed is over 40,000. It is a very alarming scenario, and if your school has a toilet, proper sanitary toilet, you should say Alhamdulillah, because actually staying in school for a long time, and because we need to drink water to keep us healthy, if you don't have toilet, then it is actually harmful for the body. I would like to discuss about another small but at the same time not very small matter. We see often, even especially in rural areas, the tradition of early marriage, and it can hinder education and ruins the life. According to UNICEF, the data between 2005 and 2013, 29% of girls married in Bangladesh before the age of 15, and 65% of girls married in Bangladesh before the age of 18. So these pictures is very, very sad and alarming picture. We need to think about it, and we should make sure that all the children, girls and boys, they get chance to go to school to become educated. Thank you.